Let's bring this lady out. I'm a big fan of Betty White's, have been for a long time. This woman's been winning Emmys for 30 years in television, going back to Life with Elizabeth, on through her game show, Just Men, of course, as Sue Ann Nivens on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and for her big hit series now, The Golden Girls, where she is the lovely but somewhat wacky Rose. Please welcome Betty White. Betty! Well, that is a lot. I mean, that's an impressive array of shows. Oh, excuse me. Everything all right?
No, that's fine. You're a nice, healthy puppy.
Thank you. You know, when you did that, my legs started moving.
I noticed that. I didn't want to mention it.
Why do dogs do that? Well, perhaps I shouldn't.
Maybe I've never asked them, but it's interesting.
Find out if you can. Did you win? I mentioned some of the Emmys you won. Did you win one for Life with Elizabeth, too?
Yeah, back in 1954.
My goodness.
No, so I'm celebrating my 40th year in this business, and I'm still hanging in there.
You appear to be, yeah. Well, you're doing okay. Did I see Bob Hope was on your show this past
yes,
on the show that aired
last Saturday night, and he was just wonderful.
That's a good show.
He did it as kind of a special favor. And it's so funny. Other people come in, you know, we've had guests, and they'll come in with a whole entourage of people. Bob just slept over there with his good friend, Elliot, and the two of them came in, and he did the first show, and then he came in and hung out with us during dinner and got notes, and then waited through the whole evening to do the show.
Sometimes I think the bigger you are, the fewer people you have around you. I think that's maybe a show business truism.
I'm alone.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. You also did something over the weekend near and dear to my heart, which was the Password show over on NBC. They taped their last show.
Super Password.
But this show's been canceled like 8 times over the years.
They always have me on their last show somehow because, of course, as in memory of Alan Ludden, I'm sure. But yesterday, we taped the last Super Password, and I explained to everybody this is number 5 of the last
Literally
Password.
the
fifth cancellation. So Phoenix shall rise again any minute.
This is like Friday the 13th, part 9. It just
keeps going on. But you know, the funny thing is you still get emotionally involved, and Bert was so, you know, how flip Bert is.
Yeah.
And he was saying goodbye, and he's got another show, and everything was fine. And he began to try to say goodbye, and he just couldn't, and the tears started. And I thought, well, you know, and he threw it to me, and I thought, well, I'll help my friend out, and I was saying goodbye.
Another 6 months, it'll be back on the air. It'll be on your password, or here's your password.
Yes, I think,
Did you meet Alan on Password?
Yes, I met him the 3rd week it was on the air. I was a guest on the show, and was the first time I'd met him. Of course, I'd watched him on GE College Bowl all the time. And we just liked each other very much because he'd watched me.
Is that from the show?
Those were taken...
An old publicity still with you and Alan and Jim Backus.
That was before I was suddenly struck blonde.
You know, it occurs to me, and while I enjoy doing Password, the words have gotten, I don't want to say easier over the years, but I think they may have been a little more difficult. Some of the words were more difficult.
And they've eased the rules off.
I mean, I noticed camphor as one of the words here.
I mean,
don't
that's
think
not easy, no.
Today.
And also, they let you do opposites now, which you couldn't before. So you can really, if you know, salt, pepper, and I think that takes some of the fun out of it.
You won awards for game shows. You did Just Men.
I did Just Men, and I think we were opposite each other, weren't we, on that?
I mean, in the award category?
In the award category.
Yes, you beat me 2 years in a row. I remember that, Betty.
No, I didn't. I only beat you 1 year, and I mean, I was nominated the 2nd year.
Oh, that's right.
The show was only on for 13 weeks.
I know, and you were nominated for 2 years.
Yes, I don't know how we were on the cusp, so to speak, but I know I won that one on gender. Not for talent, for gender, because it was the first woman MC of a game show.
Yeah, you're just a trailblazer, aren't you?
I think I sure am. Boy, I have a prow on me that can cut an icebreaker.
You did a lot of other game shows, too. Any weird ones along the way? Yeah.
Oh, Masquerade Party. They had me done up as an old man with whiskers and beard and a big pot like this and a derby and a gray wig, and I walked down the hall at NBC and somebody said, "Hi, Betty, how are you?"
We'll take a break and be back with more with Betty White. Stay there. Back with Betty White. We talked about game shows. We talked about sitcoms. Have you done this kind of show? I mean, talk shows at all?
Yeah, on both sides of the desk.
I know you've been a guest a lot.
In 1954, I had, after the Al Jarvis show, the Hollywood on Television show, my first network show was a talk show.
Yeah.
And so they said, well, you know, it's a half hour every single day, 5 days a week. And you think you can hold up for that? Well, I was just coming off a show that was 5.5 hours a day, 6 days a week.
It really, the Jarvis show was 5.5 hours a day?
It started with Jarvis. He was, Al was there for 2 years. And then he went over to ABC, and Eddie Albert came in for 6 months.
What do you do for 5.5 hours a day?
You name it, we did it. I mean, we did everything.
What was your role in this epic?
I started out as Al's girl Friday, and Saturday, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Somebody sent me panties with, you know, the days of the week on them, and I had to keep them social, but nobody ever saw them, I swear. And it was just, it was a wonderful experience. It was like going to television college.
Yeah, boy.
So then I inherited the show after Eddie Albert left to do a movie. I inherited it just because I was there. So all in all, I was there for 4.5 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of television. Yeah, boy, this makes this feel pretty soft now.
Well, that's why when they said a half hour a day, I said, I think that sounds good.
I can handle it. I can handle it. Everybody knows of your love for animals and your work on their behalf. Was that like since you were a kid? Were you just always an animal person?
Forever. My folks before me, my mother and father were just absolute animal nuts. They'd come home and they'd say, he followed us home. Let's ask Betty if we can keep him, you know.
Oh, really?
I was an only child, and...
Did you have bunches of them around the house when you were little?
Well, we didn't have so much bunches, you know, on purpose, but it was during the Depression, and my dad would make radios in the evening to earn some extra money. And nobody else had any money either, so they couldn't buy the radios, so they'd trade them for dogs. So we wound up 26 dogs. And the dogs ate. The radios didn't. So I don't think he came really ahead of the game.
Didn't think that through, clearly.
But then, of course, you fall in love with all of them.
Yeah. You did that show, which was called The Pet Set. The Pet Set or something.
That was the happiest year I ever spent.
Yeah, well, let's relive a little bit. We have just a little clip of some of the Pet Set, because you had some big names on it.
Where did you get Pet Set?
We stole it from your archives. See, you turn your back for a minute. Yeah.
Oh, great.
What years are we talking about? This ran for a couple of seasons.
This was 71. Right. 71 was 71, 72 in there.
Let's look at Betty and her animals and her special guests.
So much fun.
Welcome to the Pet Set, starring Betty White and our very special member, Mary Tyler Moore.
Show her the bottle. She'll put her trunk up. Okay, now hold it up real high. There we go. There you go.
Oh, that's delicious.
How about that? That'll take about 30 seconds.
These
and it'll be
Playtex nursers, you can't beat them. She's taking it all without getting any air.
Yeah, well, she might, yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. What's her name?
Bandula.
This is Bandula. Carol, you've got a whole new calling in life.
That's hysterical. Well, don't you have to burp her?
Going down Lancashire Boulevard, there was a pet store, like that terrible song, The Doggy in the Window. I saw this strange broad looking at me through a window, and I went in and bought her. Then I got the dog later.
And that's how I met your grandmother.
Yes.
That's fun. You know, we were all delighted you're on the show, but there was someone close to you who was not happy about this appearance because it was griping that you didn't bring her along because Rin Tin Tin was going to be here and wanted to could we? This is a member of Betty's family. Where? Oh.
Dinah!
Is Dinah yours? Oh, hi. And who's this lady with Dinah?
Gail Clark, my secretary,
Hi, Gail.
who I will
Thanks
never
very much.
trust again. Hello. How did you do this? Hello.
May I come say hello to Dinah?
Well, of
Is
course.
Dinah?
Dinah
What
was
is Dinah?
Tom Sullivan's guide dog For 9 years, and then her eyes, oh, thank you, Dinah. Let's be neat about this whole thing. Her eyes began to go, and of course, Tom travels by himself all the time.
Tom's gonna be on the show soon, so we'll be able to talk about Dinah. But Dinah's in good health otherwise?
Oh, Dinah's in wonderful shape. Come on around here. She sees fine. Yeah. She likes to eat, as you can see.
Rinnie's gonna be out here later, and we had a message from Rinnie's people that Dinah must not be out here when Rinnie comes. I'm not sure exactly why that is.
I'm not sure. It's all right as far as Dinah's concerned. She'd say, hi, Rinnie, long time. But,
all right.
Her guide dog harness, you know, the square harness, is now in the last hole. It was in hole number 3 when she came to my house, but now it's like,
So you're feeding her well, huh? Yeah. Okay, Dinah. Well, good. You relax, right?
Dinah.
Will she stay right there?
Oh, sure.
Right,
She'll do anything you want.
What a fine doggie you have there. Now, how many others do you have?
Such a privilege this one is. I've had her for 2 years now.
Who else do you have at home, animal-wise?
I have a little black poodle. Where did Gail go? Where did I put her?
Gail's munching on some biscuits backstage. It's fine.
I have a little black mini poodle, Timothy. He's 11. And then I have a little tiny Bichon Frise cricket who, I say Bichon Frise. He was a foundling about the size of this glass when I found him. He almost made Bichon. I mean, he came very close, a near miss.
That's too bad.
He thinks he's a Bichon.
Well, that's all right. Well, Dinah's very comfortable here.
Oh, Dinah's
all
a
right.
good girl.
Well, let's very quietly take a commercial break, and we'll be back with Rin Tin Tin.